And now we're going to bring our verb. Ah, you figured it out. That's right. Now you see why. Right? So, antuma becomes tef alani. You see? Right? Ant taf'alu, anti taf'alina, antuma taf'alani. And it can be used for either gender, masculine or feminine. Only in third person do we distinguish between the two. Right, only in third person. But in second person, there's no need to distinguish because it would be the same verb. Right? Okay? We're going to antum now. We already should know what it is. Antum. There you go. Taf'alun. See it? Right? Okay. Taf'alu, taf'alina, taf'alani, taf'aluna. Okay? Antunna. Taf'alna. Right? So, right? So for second person, note that the prefix is always ta. Okay? So we have taf. Right? And that noon is what? The feminine noon of plurality. Right? So now you see why it switched back to the yeah in third person. Right?
Because it would have been that.
Right, right. So that's how, you know.
Because it would have been what? It would have been that.
It would have been this. Right? If we kept the same premise that we used a ta like we did with here, for hunna we went back to the yeah. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. Okay. Okay, and that's it. Okay, we already know first person already. Right? Everybody with me? Mm-hmm. Everybody know first person. Okay? Yeah. Everybody have the list now?
Yes, I think so.
All right. You know we can't be finished though.
Oh my God.
Got to be a little bit more to this here than just me writing up this on the board. I got to give y'all something to work for. You know, you got to understand something a little bit under. All right? So everybody got it?
Yes.
Okay? No, you should sound enthused. Like, wow.
Did I sound depressed?
Yeah, you know?
We got it.
All right. Okay. Okay. So let's practice the verb right quick. Let's take the verb dhahaba. Dhahaba is past tense. Let's put it in the present tense. Dhahaba takes a fat in the present tense. Yadhabu. Right? Yadhabu. Okay? So I give you the pronoun and then you give me the verb as a class, collectively. So if I say huwa, you say yadhabu. Hiya, tadhabu. Right? Tadhabu. Right? Let me write the verb down, make sure, you know, so we can see it. Right? We're dealing with this verb. Yadhabu. Right? So that, of course, is going to change. Yadhabu. Right? So we have yadhabu, tadhabu. Huma, first. Yadhaban, or tadhaban. Right? That's satisfying. Yadhabani or tadhabani. Satisfy both genders. Whom? Yadhabuna. Hunna? Yadhabna. Anta? Tadhabu. Anti? Tadhabina. Antuma? Tadhabina. Antum? Tadhabuna. Antumna? Tadhabna. Ana? Adhabu. I am going. Adhabu. Nahnu? Nadhabu. That's it. If you practice doing it, it'll become easy to, you know, then you will know it. But if you don't do it, it's going to always seem foreign and strange. But you got to practice doing it. So the best way is you have to read Allah's book. Read His book. These come up all the time. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. You hear the wow. Wow, Jim. Oh, okay, now you're at the meaning already in your head. Wow. Wow. If you see wow, you know wow is plural. We doing it backwards.
You know, it's because people try to make it people make it seem very, very difficult. When you learn, when you get, a lot of times too, it'd be the teacher. Like I remember in math, I had a lot. I didn't like math because it seemed like a boring class. But I had this student, Mr. Maxwell, who used to play basketball on Tuesdays. But in class, he would always teach me these little things that made a huge problem very small. And that's what makes it like that. Like now we know, we see certain things, how you made them red. We know, okay, these are all this. And if it's third person, that means that this is going on. Whereas sometimes you explain it and it'll be difficult.
Yeah. No, I know. I know. All right. So, all right. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Habib, you ready?
Yeah.
You know, I can't say what you're supposed to be my ride or die.
Yo, you know what, man? My ride or die sweetheart. I don't think this how the song went, brother.
That's how my song
That's how yours go. You done changed the lyrics up.
Right.
Make it suitable.
All right. All right. You say, yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. Come on. All right. All right. Everybody ready?
Yes.
All right. Present tense, past tense verb. Is it subject to i'rab? Past tense verb.
No.
Yes.
Past tense.
Yes.
No.
Is it subject to i'rab?
No.
In other words, can a past tense verb be marfu,
No.
mansub,
No.
majzum? It doesn't. Right. It doesn't change. So a past tense verb is not subject to i'rab.
No.
Right. A present tense verb is. All right. So everybody with me. Okay. Yaf'alu. Okay. Very look. Make it mansub.
Yaf'ala.
Yaf'ala.
Taf'ala.
Stop. Ant. Make it majzum.
Taf'al.
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 Ana.
Af'al.
Af'al. Nahnu. Make it mansub and then make it majzum.
Naf'al. Naf'alna.
Naf'al. Naf'ala or naf'al. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? All right? Huma. Yes. Look. Let me start off. Let me start like this. So that way, nobody don't think I'm trying to pull a fast one on you. Right now, all of these verbs up here are marfu. Right now, all of these are marfu, with the exception of two. And let's get them out of the pile right now. Okay. The present tense verb is subject to i'rab, with the exception of two. The verb for hunna and the verb for antunna. These never change. They're mabni. So we're going to put an asterisk on hunna and antunna. Okay? Those verbs are mabni. They are not affected by i'rab. You can't. This verb, we can't say, look, yaf'al na, right? That fatha is not mansub. So we can't say yaf'al nu. And we definitely see why we can't put sukoon on it, right? Because we can't have two sukoons anyway. Right? So the verb that corresponds to hunna and antunna are mabni. Okay, Ali?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Is that because it's scared?
That's just the rule. We're not even going to get into it. That's the rule for the present tense verb. The general rule is that the present tense verb is what? It's subject to i'rab. There's an exception to everything. Except what?
Hunna and
antunna. Okay? The present tense verb is subject to i'rab. And what does that mean? The verb can be marfu, mansub, or majzum. With the exception being, so in other words, yaf'alna this verb is read like this in all three instances. Because it don't change.
Right.
Right? Everybody? Right?
yes.
Same thing for antunna. So we got them out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. Then we did huwa, we did hiya, we did anta, we did ana, nahnu. How many verbs are that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So how many verbs are left? Come on, math. Mike?
7. No, 5.
5.
Because we took
5 verbs. Because there are only 10 verbs. We're not counting this twice. We're only counting it one time.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yes.
There are only how many? Right? We have 5 verbs. We clearly can see the Dhamma. Look. Yaf'alu, taf'alu. You clearly can see the Dhamma. Taf'alu. Af'alu. Naf'alu. And if we made it mansub, yaf'ala. Taf'ala. Taf'ala. Af'ala. Naf'ala. If we made it majzoom, naf'al. Af'al. Taf'al. Taf'al. Yaf'al. Right? What verbs are left? Look at those verbs that are left. What do you notice about those verbs that's left that we didn't speak about? Huma, whom, anti, antuma, and antum. What do you notice about those verbs? They got a what? They all end in noon. That's the equivalent of a dhamma. Right? We said all these verbs are marfu. So these 5 verbs, these 5 examples of verbs, what verbs are they? Huma, whom, anta, anti, antuma, and antum. In order to make them marfu, you do so by putting the noon. Yaf'alani. Taf'alani. Right? Taf'alina. Taf'alani. Taf'aluna. That's how they make them marfu. Our quest is we want to make them mansub. Or make them majzoom. How do we do it? Drop the noon. Taf'ala.
What is that? Is that both?
Hold up.
Mansub and
Mansub or majzoom. Yep, mansub or majzoom. Drop the noon. Right? So these verbs, we're going to put 2 asterisks at them. Huma, whom, okay, anti, antuma, and antum. Okay. Okay. So everybody got it. Okay. Okay. I want everybody to understand the rule first, and then then we can analyze, see what's going on. Okay. Okay. We know we have 12 verbs. Again, let's think about it. We have 12 verbs. Why? Because we have 12 pronouns. Right? If 2 of them are going to be eliminated because they're not subject to i'rab, that's for hunna and antunna. So that gives us 10 now. Right? So for the verb that corresponds to huwa, hiya, okay? Okay? Verb that corresponds to huwa and hiya, anta, ana, and nahnu, right? You see the i'rab through vowels. Right? So, yaf'alu, marfu with dhamma. Yaf'ala, mansub with fatha. Yaf'al, majzoom bi sukoon. Right? But for those that has the double asterisk, those verbs, there are certain verbs up here that end in a noon. Those verbs are marfu. Not marfu with a dhamma though, they marfu with a noon by putting the noon in place. And those verbs correspond to the following pronouns. Right? Huma, whom, for third person. Move to second person, anti, right? Antuma, and antum. Right? Those verbs How do we say that they're marfu? By making sure we put the noon in place. They made marfu with noon. But we want to make them mansub or majzoom, just like the other verbs. Why? Because these verbs are subject to i'rab, meaning they can be any other cases. So how do you make them mansub or majzoom? You remove the noon. Okay? We call these 5 verbs the 5 examples. We call these the 5 examples. Some people call them the 5 verbs, but we call and you can say that if you want, but the better term is the 5 examples, because it's not just limited to these only. It's any verb that you put in this format. Okay, so that's why it's better to say the 5 examples of the 5 verbs. Okay, so the rule in Arabic is this: they are made marfu by establishing the noon, by placing the noon, and you make them mansub or majzoom by removing it. Okay, Ali?
Yes.
Okay. All right. One more thing. They don't end. Okay. Everybody ready? Okay. All right. I'm going to leave these verbs up. Okay. I'm going to erase them because I'm only going to deal with second person now. Okay, I want to deal with second person. So we understand, right? So I'm going to go and take these down. I'm going to take these down so we understand this, right? Yes. I take this down. Okay. We want to deal with second person now. Why we want to deal with second person is because if we have past, present, what's next? Imperative. Your imperative comes from the second person. Everybody understand the concept? Why? Right? Because you're actually seeing you. Okay. So.
Oh, because you're talking to that person.
All right. So that's how you establish. That's how you form your imperative verb based on the second person verb. Okay. Everybody ready? Mm-hmm. All right. So if that's the case, look. If anta is taf'alu. So it doesn't matter what the imperative verb is, this is the rule, so you can see the full conjugation. Watch. If it's taf'alu, how do we make an imperative verb? Because we talked about it a little earlier today. We know we're going to drop the prefix mark and replace it with what? Right? And for these verbs, we know we need hamza to wasl, right? So that's a given now, right? So we know we need hamza to wasl. If this here had a vowel, we know when we don't need hamza to wasl, but right now we know we need hamza to wasl. Right? So let's go ahead and just put our hamza to wasl. Okay? And what do we want to do now with the verb?
Copy it the way it is.
All right? Now, the thing about the imperative verb is mabni ala sukun.
Always ends in sukun.
Always ends in sukun.
Oh man, I'm missing this.
Okay? So that's why we have the sukun now. Right? And so we know we now have to copy the vowels. Right? So if we have taf'alu, right, becomes what? How we read this now? If how do we know to read it with kasra? Because the middle vowel. If it was a dhamma, what we would have said? Uf-ul. Right? So everybody understand? If-al. Everybody said we got that, right? Okay. That's you. Right? We had auntie now. What's the present tense for auntie? Taf'alina. What's time?
No, we're talking about this.
Okay. Taf'alina, right? Before we go, Taf'alina is marfu. What made it marfu? The noon. Make it mansub. Taf'ali. Make it majzoom. Taf'ali. Same thing. You can't tell the difference until you see what particle caused. Right? Right. That's when you see if it's mansub or majzoom, depending on what preceded it. Okay? All right. So now we want the imperative verb now. We want the imperative. So what do we know we're going to do with this tag?
Drop it.
We're going to drop it.
And put the hamza to wasl.
Right? And we know hamza to wasl, right? And so we're going to copy the entire verb with minus what?
The noon.
Allahu Akbar. So how we read this now? If Ali.
If Ali.
If Ali.
If Ali was just.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? You see, all we did was just take off the noon. Right? So that's how you make, see? Right? All right? So now, if we have Taf Alan is, right? Like Allah says to Musa and Harun, اذهبا إلى فرعون. اذهبا. How do we get that? We took off our tag. Right? So if
It's major. It's going down.
right? If Allah, right? Because the imperative verb is mabni ala sukun. So we got to drop the noon makes it rough. So in the imperative for these verbs also you just take away the noon. You see? So if Ali, if Allah, do. See it? If Allah.
If Alu.
Taf'aluna becomes.
If Alu.
And what am I going to write on at the end of this here?
The sukun.
There we go. Exactly.
Full joint.
Right? Because now we know at the end. Right? If alu. We had antun. Taf'alna. Taf'alna, is it mabni or is it mu'arab? It's mabni. So what do you think we'll do to this verb now? Come on. Put in your thinking caps.
If Alana. If Alana.
There you go. Right? We know we got to get rid of the prefix marker and copy the same verb.
Yeah, because you can't change it.
It doesn't change. If al na. And now you have the conjugation of the imperative verbs.
What was the opposite?
If al, I'm sorry.
The opposite of Muslim says it's not.
Mu'arab.
Mu'arab.
Mu'arab. Okay, so we have if al, if ali, if ala, if alu, and then if al na. All right. So we have the full conjugation of past, present, and the imperative verb. Okay. We also know now that in the past tense, okay, although when we link up the pronouns, the verbs to the pronouns, we get an additional verb because it's gender specific in the dual in the third person. Okay? And we know that in the present tense, with the exception of the pronouns, the verbs that correspond to hunna and antunna, those verbs are mabni. They're not subject, they're arab. But the other verbs are. Right? 5 of the verbs, right? Huwa, hiya, anta, huwa, ana and nahnu, the vowel of i'rab is through a vowel. It'd be a dhamma, a fatha, or a sakun. Right? For huwa, yaf'alu.
Oh yeah, yes, right.
Hiya, taf'alu. Right? So if we want to go through i'rab, it's going to be done so with a vowel. Yaf'ala, yaf'al. Right? So for 5 verbs. Huwa, hiya, anta, ana, nahnu. Then we have 5 other verbs that all end in noon. So those verbs that take noon, that's marfu. So noon comes only on certain verbs. What verbs are those? A verb that corresponds to the pronoun huma, whom, anti, antuma, antum, and right? Right? So again, huma, whom. That's 2. Third person, anti, antuma, anti, antuma, and antum. Right? And so those 5 verbs, those 5 examples of a verb, we make them marfu by establishing the noon, by writing with noon. Okay? Yaf'alani, yaf'aluna, taf'alina, taf'alani, yaf'aluna. You want to show that they're marfu? Make sure you put the noon. When we want to make them mansub or majzoom, what do? We eliminate the noon. Don't write the noon. Yaf'ala, yaf'alu. Go to the second person. Taf'ali, ala, taf'alu. Right? And we have to learn what particle so you can distinguish whether it's mansub or majzum, what particle caused it. I remember when we first started class, we looked at something in Surah Baqarah, if you remember. You may not remember.
We looked at a lot of stuff.
Huh?
We just said.
Surah.
I can't remember.
Huh? When
I remember.
When it says
was it the wows?
When Allah mentions, if you have doubt about what we revealed to our servant, فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ. Yeah, remember the surah? We looked at this for a moment. I mean, briefly. I think at the end of class one time.
It was probably one of those days you left like, wow.
Allah says, "When kuntum fi rayb mimma nazalna ala abdina, fa'tu." So you see the end of the verb. That's an imperative verb. So bring bi suratin min mithlihi wad'u, imperative verb, and call on shuhada'akum min dunillahi in kuntum sadiqin. Fa in lam taf'alu.
Yeah, we were looking at the lamb and the lion, though, right?
Right. That's what those would tell you what case it's in.
Right.
Right. But the point is right.
Yeah.
In lam taf'alu wa lan taf'alu, so the verbs look identical.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right. Lamb makes it lamb made it majzum, and lan make it mansub, but they look identical.
Wow.
Right.
Oh yeah, because you only dropping the noon. That's
Right.
it.
They look the same. Right. Okay. Taf'alu, make the same verb, but lamb makes it majzum. Lan is for nas, but they look the same. So you don't know until you look at the particle that caused you to assume that case. Okay. Talking here in this ayah here. See, taf'alu and taf'alu, they identical, same verb. Okay. Lamb make the verb become majzum, whereas lan makes it mansub. But you don't know that just by looking at the verbs by themselves. You have to look at the particle that caused. Okay.
Lamb makes it
Majzum.
and one makes it
Mansub. Okay. All right. All right. So we good. All right. You have to read.
Yeah.
You have to read. If you don't read, this stuff can always seem foreign. You have to read, and you gotta look at Al-Fatiha for an example. Allah says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu. Noon is what? Nahnu, right? Nahnu. Na'budu is marfu with a dhamma. Na'budu. Right? Right? Na'budu. Go ahead, finish. Wa iyyaka nasta'in.
That's marfu with the noon.
Huh? This one here, nasta'in. No, this particular verb here now, this verb here, it actually it's not with the because noon is your fa'il. It's nahnu. This verb this verb actually ends in those letters, so it's not the same.
Oh, okay.
It's not changed
to those letters. It's not changed. Okay.
Right, because it's iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. What? What's that?
Nasta'in.
Nasta'in. No. See? That's
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, because y'all don't see it. This nu, so that's how you know this nu is part of the verb itself. It has nothing to do with the, you see? So that you can't drop.
Sitting right there.
Right. It's
letting you know that that's what it is.
Okay?
Okay, even though you don't pronounce it, you need it to know.
Right.
What's what? To know that that's part of the word and not.
Right. Right. That's why it's important that when you're reading a verb, that you identify your fa'il. So nasta'in, the noon at the beginning is your fa'il. That doesn't have a double asterisk. Remember the double asterisk for those that you have to drop the noon or only for huma, whom, anti, antuma, and antum. Not nahnu.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah too.
Okay? And then Allah says, ihdina, ihdina. Begins with Hamzatul Wasl. Ihdina. It's an amr, imperative verb. Ihdi. Ihdi is the actual verb. Ihdi. I'm just reading the imperative verb. What verb, what ihdi. Ihdi.
What are you asking?
I'm asking you what verb is it? Who?
You.
Huh? Right. We asking Allah to do something for us. Right. Right.
Ihdin. Oh, what's the verb itself?
Hada.
Hada. And it's ihdina.
Ihdina.
Oh, so it's
You guide us.
no, it's us.
Yeah,
to guide, right?
It's you, guide. It's imperative verb. So we saying to Allah, guide us.
But it's
Right.
a question because it's from lower to the higher.
Right.
It's a command.
Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Ladina, An'amta. An'amta. An'amta is a past tense verb. An'amta. Ta meaning?
What is it?
Ta on the past tense verb.
And I'm ta. You. I mean,
Really?
You. An'amta. Anytime you have a past tense verb, you have ta. Look, ta can only take, there are only 4 vowels. Ta, kesra, dam, or sakun. So if you have ta, them the only vowels you have. A fata, kesra, a dam, or sakun. So if we take the letter ta, ta, t, tu, t, with sakun. Ta with fata is what? You. Ta with kesra. You. Ta with dhamma. I. Ta with sakun. She. So if it says anam ta, you. Whatever the verb means, you. Anamta alayhim, alayhim. You hear the ala in the pronoun whom, but because it has alayhim. Okay.
yeah, everybody loves that.
So that's what's. If you don't read and think about what we do in class, it seems like we never went over. But you got to read. Sometimes you just have to read and analyze grammar. Just sometimes you have to read. I mean, half a page, a quarter of a page, but read. You have to read every day until it becomes second nature. Then when you look at it, then you will learn how to read for comprehension with everything that's going on, and it just start happening.
You
right now,
read something to know all that has to do with
it. Yeah, right now, we have to take baby steps. I mean, that's just how it is. It's impossible to think we're gonna get it all at one time. So you read, and then you go and train yourself to look for those things. All right.
Yeah.
All right, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.
Yeah, every time you come